With a great season in the bank, we break the bank this season. Chrysorn from Thailand came in, a new starting centre-back. Brambati then followed, a 16-year-old wonderkid striker. Then Franco Minerva joined us from Arsenal. John Arquila also joined us, but on a free from Real Betis. And finally a backup goalie and backup left wing-back in Mdluli and Mejia. We've also got rid of quite a few big figures during the early years of this journey. We've sold Ruben Kluivert, Lautaro Marzo, Marc Montañez, and the saddest one, Edu Valiente. None of them were really good enough to be in the team regularly anymore, so a lot of them complained, so I had to move them on. The UCL qualies were once again very easy. We beat Albanian Toita 10-0, Debrecen 8-2 and Vardar 8-1 on aggregate, before we'd once again face Shakhtar in a playoff. Just like the previous meetings with the Ukrainians, it was a difficult tie. With a 1-1 draw in the away leg, it looked like we'd get to the UCL proper again. And that feeling would only grow stronger, as we scored after only 4 minutes. But Shakhtar then scored a pen less than 10 minutes later. After hitting the post, Fratsau scored this pen to give us the lead. And after Zorin got a straight red, it was plain sailing. And we're through to the Champions League phase again. The fixtures look manageable. Dortmund, Barca and Bayern are difficult. In the first game against Atalanta, there was loads of action in the first half. As we took the lead, Atalanta equalized. And then we scored twice more to have a 3-1 lead at the break. Caparros then decided to play some volleyball in our box, so Atalanta got a pen, which Can Uzun scored. Thankfully, we won 3-2 in the end after an incredible first half performance against a very decent Serie A side. Our next game against Dortmund was depressing. They scored after under 2 minutes after a corner, before Arquila scored a header to equalize. We then conceded twice more, both of them from f***ing corners. We're apparently incompetent at defending set pieces. Arteta then claimed us an easy opponent before our game against Barcelona. That was justified, to be fair. They got a controlled 2-0 win against us, as their star factor was clearly deciding. We've now got Real Sociedad away, which I thought would be a tight game where we could maybe get a result. But no, they've evidently turned into a great team, as we lost 4-1. We actually conceded another 2 defensive set pieces, so the changes I tried making to the set piece tactics have not worked.
Oh shit. Here we go again.
In the next game, away to Saint Etienne, the first real chance came in the 58th minute, as they scored a deflected goal off of the Ghost. Sivkovic then scored again just 4 minutes later. Kisena reduced the arrears in the 85th, before he scored another in the 92nd. But it was offside. So we lose yet again. At this point is when we brought in a new midfielder in Juan Chavez. He's taken Figs' place in the team, and we somehow managed to get $1.5 million for Figs. We've also sold Emilio Caparros since we've switched to a system that uses 2 center mids, so we didn't really have any use for him anymore. We've now got Bodo Glimt. We have to beat to have a chance of making it through. We did just that, as Paiva performed brilliantly. He got a brace and an assist to Arquila, as we win 3-1. We've now got, in my opinion, the hardest game yet, away to Bayern. And their manager, Eddie Howe, claimed us an easy opponent. Except for this big chance for Paiva in the 19th, nothing happened in the first half. But early on in the second, we actually did something on a corner, as the Ghost scored this header. Arquila then missed this big chance before Solari made this great save 3 minutes later. Gilvan, one of our subs who'd come on just 4 minutes ago, scored this rebound. Ouedraogo scored a consolation goal in the 90th, but we win away to Bayern. And with that win against Bayern, I thought we were basically guaranteed a playoff place. But we weren't. We actually have to win the last game against Nice to get through. We're at home against Nice, and we need to win this. Kisena got the message, as he did everything himself with this great solo goal. Early in the second half, we once again conceded from a corner. Boudaoui then scored in the 69th, before we equalized in the 76th through Chavez. but we needed a win, so I went all-out attack. That got punished. Straight after Chavez had scored this offside goal, Boudaoui scored again for Nice. We lost 3-2, which means we're out of the UCL. We have 9 points and we're not through.
Pain.
What that means for the coefficients is this. We've got 5.875 points, just like in Season 8. It's pretty disappointing, but we do actually move up another 3 places. I guess I'll take it, but the other Kosovan teams just aren't making any progress, and it's turning into a real issue. After a disappointing year in Europe, we had a brilliant year here in Kosovo. We won both the Super Cup and the Kosovan Cup, but the big achievement was made in the league. We won the league by 35 points. We won every single game. 30 out of 30. That's outrageous. A perfect invincible domestic season. By the way, just one final thing. Bayern won the UCL and we were the only team that beat them. So technically, we're the best team in Europe.
It's false. No way. Not this time. We created it. Not this time. No, not this time. It's totally made up. Pure fiction.
After that annoying season in Europe, we want to hit back. And to do so, we spent quite a lot of money. We bring in Matthijs Claesson for 2.4 million, Fernando Mariani for 7 million, Nicolas Petrelli for 7.5 million, Alexandra Diogo for 375k, and finally Aleksandar Gordic for 7 million. But how did we afford all this? Well, we sold Joaquim Paiva for 24 million to Feyenoord, where he's played 3 games. We also had to let a few club legends leave. Kaka, Gilvan and Miguel Almendra have all left the club as I couldn't give them the playing time they wanted. We entered in the second quali round of the UCL this year, because of the coefficient rankings. We beat Beitar Jerusalem 12-1 on aggregate and then Neftchi 6-3 before facing Young Boys in the playoff. We went down 2-0 very early on in the first leg. But Brambati thankfully scored a brace, with the second coming in the 91st to get us back to level terms for the second leg in Kosovo. Literally nothing happened in the second leg, so it went to extra time. Nothing happened there either, so it went to pens. We went first, as Kisana scored this Panenka. Mariani then saved their first pen. Kryson and Romiger then scored their respective pens before Paiva, this was before we sold him, smashed his into the top corner. Mariani then saved again. Diogo scored the deciding pen, which means we're through to the league phase. The fixtures look like the easiest we've ever had. We should be winning against Omonoia, Galatasaray, Rangers and Braga, and we should absolutely be able to get a result against Porto as well. The first game against Omonoia, we took the lead through Brambati. But Diogo gave away the most unnecessary pen I've seen, which they scored. So we draw against Omonoia, which is our easiest game.
It's not good enough. I'm telling you. I'm sorry.
We're now facing Galatasaray away, which is a very winnable game. We were down 1-0 at the break because Kryson literally gave the ball to them. Kratsao also missed a big chance and was performing bad all round, so I took him off for Claesson, who took the striker spot, with Brambati moving to the right wing. That worked wonders. We scored under 2 minutes into the second half through Brambati. We then won the ball straight from kickoff and Claesson scored this time. Then we won the ball straight from kickoff again and scored again through Brambati to get his second. 3 goals in 3 minutes. 10 minutes later though, we conceded. Brambati, who'd performed so well, then got a straight red card for a completely unnecessary challenge.
Why?
So Galatasaray got the equalizer 2 minutes after that. Deservedly though, Petrelli scored for us in the 90th minute to get us the win and the very important 3 points. Bayern at home is next. A game we'll probably lose, but we did beat them last year, so you never know. Sasha Müller, probably Thomas's son, scored this header for Bayern to give them the lead. Nothing really happened until Kryson scored a header of his own from Gordic's free kick. Nothing else happened, so we've managed to draw to Bayern. In the 2 games we've played them, we've won 1 and drawn 1. Against Porto in Portugal, they took the lead very early in the 6th minute. Minerva scored just 10 minutes later though. The same man scored again right after the break. Mariani then made a huge save just 2 minutes later. And in the 71st, Mejia did well down the left hand side before Kisna picked up the loose ball to cement the result and get us another 3-pointer. That's 8 points in 4 UCL games. The next game against Rangers was a very disappointing one. Brambati missed a basically open goal after 5 minutes, but Minerva thankfully scored in the 21st. Meyer then scored to equalize right before the break, which was also the final result. We really should be winning against Rangers, and especially when we have 3.65 XG. The board have just increased the transfer budget by 18 million by the way, on a complete whim. I mean, I'm not mad, I'm just very surprised. In the league, we've actually continued our winning run from last season, as we've won all 15 games so far. We're now up against Braga in the 6th UCL League phase game, which is a game we should be winning. And if we do so, we're guaranteed a place in the knockouts. As we've seen in the past, we give away the ball very easily while playing out from the back. So Braga scored in the 16th. They then get an absolute bullshit pen, which Abel Ruiz scores. Brambati fortunately scored in the 37th to keep the hope alive for us. Ore Cabral, a player who's been in the loan farm for the last 4 years, then scored in the 66th to equalize. He then scored again after Fratzau did really well down the right side to square it to aforementioned Cabral. An incredible comeback, and we're up to 12 points. We actually have an outside chance of getting into the top 8 now. As Christmas times came along...
Happy Christmas! It's Christmas! Merry Christmas! Merry Chrysler!
I won the Manager of the Year award in Kosovo like many times before. But I've never had a 100% win rate before. That's pretty sick. I then got the message that my very loyal assistant manager was moving to Lapi to become their manager. So it's the end of an era. Right before our game against Manchester City, we lost the league game. The 51 game winning run has come to an end. Just so you understand how long that is, the last time we dropped a point in the league was on the 19th of April 2031. That's a year and a half without dropping a single point.
Oh my god! Wow!
We're now heading to the Etihad to face Manchester City. Despite Sarr hitting the bar after 3 minutes, we actually took the lead in the 18th. Mariani made 2 very good saves before the deadlock was broken. Haaland scored to equalize it for City. We then, like too many times before, gave away the ball so Gustavo Real could score. Chavez did score the equalizer 3 minutes later, but it wouldn't matter, as David scored this heap of a goal in the 90th. A very close game considering the gap in quality between the two teams, so I'm proud of the performance either way. We controlled the next game the whole way through. At home to Juventus, Chavez missed this big chance after 4 minutes, but a minute later, Gordic scored this header. Other than an offside goal from Fratzau in the 92nd, nothing happened, so we win against Juventus. We just about miss out on top 8 as we get 9th on worse goal difference to exactly Juventus. In the knockout playoff round we got draw Nice. It's a game we could win, but it is a difficult one. In the first leg, away from home, we lost 2-1 as Nice scored a goal which looked suspiciously like offside, as well as this goal from a short corner. Petrelli scored our goal by the way. In the second leg, nothing really happened until I changed into an all-out attack tactic, which just got punished to be honest. Nice scored in the 76th and the 85th to make it a 4-1 loss for us on aggregate. There really is something about these French teams in the UCL. We've effectively been knocked out by a French team 3 years in a row now. For the coefficients, that means we've got 7.625 points this season. which in turn means we're moving up 3 places once again. Once we get to 15th, we get 5 European spots, which could both help us and ruin us. We obviously win both the league and the cup again. We won the cup final 4-1 against Liria, but only after extra time had been played. We won the league by 18 points, so a big step down from last year as we lost 2 and drew 1 this year. But it's still very solid, and we're now tied on number of league titles won with Pristina at 8.
Ooh, you're hard, showing off.